Alright, hello everyone. Today is Sunday, August 5th, 2018. If you're watching this, and if you haven't watched this week's Andy Plays episode, I would encourage you to, of course, check that out if you are into gaming. We are, of course, continuing with the Uncharted series every month. I still want to continue to do that because the game is, of course, very intense, and the last time I was at Book Off, I got Fallout 4. The staff have been watching my videos. I've mentioned that I promised I would review the game for them, and so far, I've told them I can't really do it every week because, I wanted it to be like a monthly thing for, of course, here on the main channel. But overall, they told me they like how I'm giving my own commentary to the gameplay, and pretty much, if you are interested, I'll quickly mention Book Off. West 45th Street by 5th and 6th Avenue in Midtown. It's their only New York location. Pretty much, they have all other locations in California near the San Diego area, so I'm quickly shouting them out, but yeah, that is pretty much what we always do on Sundays is, of course, Andy Plays. I'm currently trying to see if we can get Madden NFL 19 on Friday. What I'm gonna do this week is, if you don't have Periscope, or worst comes to worst, I will double confirm it on a tweet later this week, because thankfully, if you don't have a Twitter account, you can just view my tweets at Andy's Randomness, and I will announce that I'm going to hopefully confirm to you all that we will have Madden NFL 19 gameplay on 10th. Yeah, I was just double checking my calendar, which is right there from the cue card. Thankfully, I have the cue cards in a different part of the setup over here, so you don't have to see them. But yes, I double checked my cue card so I wouldn't forget when that episode should be up. August 10th. We are going to be doing Madden NFL 19, which is this Friday, the official release from EA. Last year was fun doing it when the game came out. The thing is, I want to do Long Shot. I want to do that on the gaming channel. That might have to be postponed until maybe later this month or September, because I think Matt Camper mentioned it earlier today in his Periscope. It's almost 3 o'clock right now. I am going back to Delmarva on Saturday, the 11th, and I will be back in New York sometime around the 21st. So that's why, of course, that's why I keep saying cue cards are important. You need to have them when you make videos. So the 11th to the 21st, I will not be here. If I have to do any mass transit news while I'm away, I can pre-record that either on my old Samsung Galaxy like I did when I was in Dover, or hopefully I will have my computer with me, because I'm doing a dual trip of Ocean City, my parents' condo, and then of course the hotel I stayed at last month, which again I'm not going to say where I'm staying, because again, privacy, I am entitled to it. So I'm hoping when we're in Delmarva I can review the TIV-DO again and show you the radio reception down there. I don't really want to highlight the ICF P26 because, it's nothing special. I mean, with the TIV-DO, we had the DSP tuning on that radio. So I want to show you how it works in action in Delmarva, because that would be very special to do, of course. And excuse me, by the way, I just had lunch about a half hour ago. But our agenda for the month as a whole, not just the Delmarva trip, I'll go into that in just a second. I am hoping I can do Massapequa Park this week as a summit. It'll just be a summit where I do it by myself, because I don't really want to have John from Pine Power LI come out there, because the trip for him to go near the Nassau-Suffolk border for him would honestly be stressful, because he's mentioned it before about, talking about the MTAs pretty much draining him out, and I can understand that. My plan for that right now is to do that video this Thursday, August 9th, because I have checked the weather, and the thing with we are going to do a weather update, I promise, but unrelated there. But the thing with the weather this week is, unfortunately, we are stuck in another human pattern this week. I was checking the forecast, and it looks like Thursday the humidity might start to go down. I am hoping that the dew point will be below 70 degrees, so it'll be somewhat tolerable to do an area segment in Massapequa Park, to of course do the intro at Massapequa Park, because that's where we're going to do it, and of course show you the train station, because honestly, from a different perspective, I would at least like to do that one by myself. With regards to Delmarva, I have spoken to my mom about this, and she does want me to do a video about the Sears in Dover, Delaware. We were supposed to do it last time, but due to time constraints, and I told my mom, can't we go back to Dover so I can at least film the Sears in Dover for, I'm not going to talk in the video. I'm probably going to do the voiceover when I get back to my studio here in New York, but she does want me to try to get as many Sears as possible on camera, because they are dying out. She's honestly upset that the Sears that she grew up with, and especially with regards to Pine Power, because keeping in mind my mother's from Brooklyn, and she would always go to the one in Kings Plaza, but Hicksville was her go-to later on in life. She was upset that I couldn't get that on tape. I am keeping my promise to her that we are going to get Dover. Salisbury, I'm debating that one, if I can get to that one before 8 o'clock, because remember, I did a Periscope stream back in June where I couldn't go inside. Salisbury looks better compared to when I went to Dover last year, which honestly I should have filmed it last year, but I didn't expect the madness with the decaying Sears company going downhill, that I have to try to get these dying breeds on camera before we can do that. As far as September is concerned, excuse my phone, I'll quickly mention that I am working on getting a cameraman to help me film at the Sears in New Hyde Park. This cameraman, you might know him. I mentioned him before on this channel, but we are going to try to get him back. He's also my driver, and my producer for other videos that we do on this channel, but there is going to be a lot of different content in the fall. I promise you that. Things are going to start changing in the fall. Will it be different? We'll have to see, but I'll let you all know when September comes what's there to expect. But Sears, New Hyde Park hopefully should be a go in the fall when the weather gets cooler, and if I can't get a cameraman, I can have a plan B and just honestly walk over to Sears, and maybe I can do no sign of hope for the holiday season at Sears video if I want to. Maybe I'll go back to the one in New Hyde Park. I don't know. They're still open. We'll have to see, because that would be a good idea for a video in the holidays. But the thing I want to do at the end part of this month, because we do have the end part of the month, when I get back I have to take care of some personal things when I come back from Delmarva, which I don't really want to discuss on this channel because it's obviously personal. I think I was supposed to take care of the personal thing on the 23rd, I think. I talked about it with my parents, I think about a week or two ago, which again, I don't want to get into. It's just personal stuff between me and my parents. But the week after, I am working on doing a Cedarhurst Summit. Now, the thing with that is, that trip is going to have to be dependent on time. Now, I'm saying that because many of you know my drop-off point to head out east into the island on a weekday is, of course, Long Island Jewish, because I'm not making my dad drive me out to somewhere that honestly would be time constraint to him. He agrees with me that Long Island Jewish is an easier place for me to get the N25 if I need to head out east into the island. I've even mentioned it to him about the transit app, which I don't get stranded out by Long Island Jewish if I want to take nice. So I have the app on my phone. So the plan for Cedarhurst at the end of this month, which I don't know what date we're going to do that one yet. I'll keep you all posted when I'm planning the Cedarhurst Summit, because I am hoping that if people are interested in joining me in Cedarhurst, they are more than welcome to. As I said, with regards to Massapequa Park, that one I would rather do by myself, because again, making somebody else come out there would be ridiculous compared to like Cedarhurst. Let's say somebody wants to come from Queens, that works, because you can just transfer at Jamaica and then go that way. With my situation, I can just go to Long Island Jewish, take the N25 to Limbrook, and then just transfer at Limbrook LIRR for the N3132, which literally drops me off right in downtown Cedarhurst. And I'm very familiar with Cedarhurst in a way, because Cedarhurst has a nice downtown. It's part of the Five Towns. I've always said to myself that I want to do at least one summit at a Far Rockaway station. The thing is, at Far Rockaway itself, there's not that really much to do in the area compared to, let's say, Cedarhurst. So, yeah, it's just a stressful trip. You know, it's something that really takes time and planning to take care of. And I had to move something out of the way from my computer, of course, because that's what happens when you have multiple things going on. But yeah, there's more to do in Cedarhurst. More to do. So the downtown is amazing. I want to get that on camera and hopefully show you the Cedarhurst train station. Now, just one last thing I need to discuss about September. In case you didn't see MTA Prodigy's video today, he did talk about a lot of fun stuff that he is planning for his viewers while I'm away in Delmarva. And I quickly want to mention to Kevin right now that I gratefully want to appreciate him for, of course, planning content while I'm going to be away in Delmarva. We were originally supposed to do a Wantua station tour on August 25th. The thing with that is that had to get moved to September. I have mentioned to Kevin the dates, and I have the cue card for that right now. That's actually how my computer, ironically, which I'm not going to get into why I have the separate cue card on the computer, but the two dates I had in mind for the Wantua tour were September 22nd and or the 29th. Now, Kevin has announced that he is doing a separate tour on that date. Matt Camper, if you haven't heard, he was supposed to be in Montauk yesterday, but he obviously had something else to... Well, actually, he thought it was going to rain in Montauk yesterday. So, that's why pretty much he didn't go yesterday. And yesterday I was with my girlfriend and her friends yesterday, so I'm not going to get into too much information, but I'm very happy that both are doing what they're doing right now, and they're going to be giving you guys content while I go through a transitional stage of providing different content to you guys, and hopefully, as I said before, I'm hoping the last 2 weekends in September, me and Kevin can do the Wantua Station tour, because I've had this random thought, and it's always been something that I've wanted to do for a while with regards to Wantua. Because here's the thing with Wantua. I want to make sure that we can go in depth about the construction over there and compare it to Hicksville. Because many of you know I went to Hicksville. We did a Hicksville summit back in, I'm pretty sure it was June. I forget when the summit took place, but yeah, we did a Hicksville summit in June. But the thing with the Wantua summit, if you want to call it that, I would rather have it on MTA Prodigy's channel, because he goes really in depth on his channel, and it would be appropriate in a way to, of course, do a summit where, you know, he calls it his station tour and I am a contributing factor to it. And the best part is I don't have to upload anything on here. He does all the work, which I'm very grateful for. And I'm hoping that will be the case. I will keep reminding Kevin about it when the dates get closer. I'm hoping also that I know it's a little bit personal to discuss at the moment, but there's a restaurant I might want to take my girlfriend to afterwards in the area of Wantua. So I have to, of course, discuss that with her. If she's busy, I, of course, have another friend I can have dinner with, or worst comes to worst, I can just have dinner with Kevin and his cameraman if I have to. But yeah, that's pretty much what's to come this month. As I said, things happen. My parents made the other dates to go to the condo months in advance, so I knew I was going this month anyway. So I'm hoping I can get Sears for you on camera. I'm hoping. It sounds like it's going to happen. As long as my mom and my dad figure out what's the best day to go to the Dover Mall and I can film. The most logical date I can come up to film that video would be August 20th. And as I was mentioning before, Massapequa Park would have to be filmed on Thursday, August 9th due to the humidity in the New York area. It's pretty much 90 degrees today, and it's going to be 90 pretty much until I think Tuesday, they said. Wednesday, there's supposed to be a severe chance of rain, and I'd rather would be at work on Tuesday and Wednesday anyway. And of course, Thursday would be less humid. I can tolerate the weather, and I can, of course, do the intro segment at Massapequa Park itself before we go into the town. And I just have to be careful with my time, because I want to be able to take I think there's a train that leaves Massapequa Park around 2:30 I want to get on board, because that train is about a half-hour trip to Jamaica. So I would, of course, have to be cautious of what time I would have to be in Jamaica so I can catch the Q30, Q31 bus to go back home to Fresh Meadows. But one last point about Cedarhurst, as I said before, we will discuss that later this month. I will make an announcement later this month regarding Cedarhurst, because I do want to do a Far Rockaway station before the end of the summer. And who knows, maybe next year I join MTA Prodigy in Long Beach. I'm hoping that happens. I would love for that to happen. That's something more realistic that should happen in 2019. I will say that now. So, now that that segment is pretty much out of the way with regards to what's to come in the month of August. Oh, one more thing. Right, Andy Plays. Right, so Madden 19 would be next week. Then on the 19th, we're playing SmackDown Here Comes the Pain, and on the 26th, we're going to be playing Gran Turismo Sports. So that's what August looks like in regards to Andy Plays. And oh yeah, right, Walk and Talk. There's only going to be, I think, 2 this month, unfortunately. I know, I can't. Wait. Right, because think about it. Monday was July still, Leah. The 30th. How could I forget? So yeah, there's only going to be 2 Walk and Talks this month from Auburndale. So, there we go. Now I got that out of the way. So, now we're going to talk about the humidity we're facing in the New York area, and we're going to talk about Major League Baseball standings as of today, August 5th. One last thing I forgot to mention, SummerSlam predictions for WWE will be, of course, available later this month. SummerSlam will be taking place on the 19th at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn. So, predictions for that will be later this month, of course. So you, of course, can stay tuned for that. So now let's finally get to the weather, because that's what I wanted to talk about today. Mostly because it's just too hot. And thank goodness I have a noise-canceling microphone that gets rid of the air conditioning noise, because otherwise you'd be hearing it right now. But I'm nice and cool, but I feel bad for people who have to be out in this. So pretty much the NWS in Upton issued an air quality alert for all of Queens. It went into effect earlier this morning at 11 o'clock, and it's going to go until tonight. I honestly think the air quality alert will go into tomorrow, most likely, because of all the humidity. So, the air is just bad. It really is, and it affects the elderly, it affects pets, it affects children, and of course it affects the mentally ill. So, if you're in any of those groups, the only thing I can recommend you do today is just find air conditioning, please, because this is not the day to be outside if you are in that group that I just mentioned. We're, of course, under a heat advisory. It went into effect at 10 a.m. earlier this morning and is set to expire at 8 p.m. tomorrow night, the 6th. As I said, the NWS should honestly just extend this air quality alert because it's just too humid to even be outside. Even just taking Teddy outside this morning, it was hot at like 11 o'clock this morning, and he didn't even want to be outside. Of course, my South African Bormo, which I've showed you on this channel before last year. Anyhow, before we get off topic, so this is our heat index right now, 96. The dew point is at 64, so that's surprising because I was expecting the dew point to be at 70 today. The humidity is at 40%. There is a wind right now, but there's no gust available at the moment. One of our stations here in Fresh Meadows is reporting 96 degrees. So we'll go around the area right now via the Weather Underground. So quickly just take a look right here. As you can see, it's just unbearable. It really is. Let's try to see if we can get Central Park at the moment. Alright, one of the observatories at the American Museum of Natural History is reporting that it's 95 over there. We have a station in Manhattan. I think this is by Carl Schulz Park. Wow, we actually found a station in Carl Schulz. So this is the actual temperature right now at Carl Schulz Park. Believe it or not, I am very happy that I found this. It was something glad to see, but we just lost the map. I'm not kind of happy about that. Can we get the map back? Yes, good, excellent. So one station in Port Washington's reporting 99 degrees? That's not right. You go out to the island, it's pretty much spotty. Those nice people along the South Shore, huh? I'm only being practical about it, but look at these people. They get to enjoy nice, comfortable temperatures today. So we'll just quickly check Montauk because that's normally the cool spot. We'll head out there. Islip is at 90 degrees right now. We'll quickly head out to Montauk very quickly. And then we'll just quickly see how hot Delmarva is today. Yeah, so Montauk is pretty much in the mid 80s today, not the upper 80s. Just quickly going to see. Now, this is where I want to be today. This is where I want to be today. Point Judith. This is where I want to be today. 79 degrees. New Shoreham Island, 76 degrees today. That's where I would want to be. Like, that was Martha's Vineyard today. Man, those rich people on Martha's Vineyard, they are getting luxurious weather today. There's only one last comfortable place I would think of that would be nice to go to. I'm thinking New England. New England's not even... New England is unbearable to be in today. I would never expect to ever say that in my lifetime, but apparently it is. So now we're just going to take a look at Delmarva right now very quickly before we go into the forecast. Delmarva today in Ocean City, as of course my second home, my home away from home. Many of you know that by now. Pretty much Ocean City is in the upper 80s today. We'll check the main hub of Delmarva, which is Salisbury. So we'll get the report from Salisbury in just a second. So Salisbury is of course reporting 93 degrees right now. Princess Anne is reporting 92. Oh man, Chinnatique. See, I could tolerate being in Chinnatique today. 87 in Chinnatique. 87, that's decent. Compared to what the other weather is, oh, I do not want to be in Crisfield today. Crisfield's at 92. Pretty much the same here as New York. Let me check my cousins in Stevensonville. Let's see what their station is reporting out on Ken Island. Yeah, they're pretty much dealing with the heat too today in Stevensonville. My cousins have to suck up to it today. 93 by Bay City and Ken Island. Over here there's a nice breeze. Go over there. But yeah, it's pretty much unbearable unless you're in, let's say, Martha's Vineyard today, which is literally in the upper 70s. Because again, they're pretty much isolated and they have a small amount of land. Nothing's really blocking them. So we'll check the forecast. As I was mentioning earlier, it's just going to be unbearable. It might even hit 90 again on Tuesday. Looks like tomorrow might be the worst of this heat wave. We're going to take a look at it here. The humidity will be pretty much unbearable to deal with. The dew point will be in the 70s. I want to show you Thursday for a sec. They claim the humidity is going to be going down, but honestly, out of the whole entire week, this is honestly going to be the... Thursday and Friday are going to be like the best days to be outside. From what I heard. I think they said Friday it's supposed to be very comfortable outside. So if you can be out on Thursday and Friday, and that's why I mentioned I would rather do the Massapequa Park Summit on Thursday, that would be appropriate to do. So we're going to take a look at the GFS for a couple minutes. And as you're going to take a look right now, pretty much see all this pink air right here. This is uncomfortable temperatures right here. Very uncomfortable. And right now, honestly, these New York summers are just becoming unbearable to deal with. I can't really think of a cooler place to be right now than Martha's Vineyard. I mean, if I could spend my whole summer at Martha's Vineyard at this point, I would rather do that. And if I have to deal with those arrogant people in Boston, I could care less at this point because I just want nice, comfortable weather. So again, 90 again. Yeah, but he even tries to hit 90 again on Tuesday. And then we try breaking out of the pattern on Wednesday. No, we don't. So let's go to Thursday. Yeah, see, on Thursday, it looks like that pink color disappeared. So the pink color apparently comes on Wednesday. So the GFS thinks that it's going to hit 90 again. Sorry about that, wrong tab. And then let's just take a look at my sake for Delmarva, just for the heck of it. Are we going to get hot again? Okay, looks like Delmarva's going to be in the upper 80s. Low, so it actually might be comfortable in Delmarva when I head back there next week. Wow, look at this. This is pretty impressive. In fact, it looks like we might even have a day where it stays in the low 80s. Even New York sees this. So, looks like we might be breaking this pattern according to this on, I can get an accurate date from this. It looks like we're going to break this pattern on Sunday. Can double confirm it. Yes, looks like we may break the pattern on Sunday. That's very good news. That we're finally not going to have to deal with this humid weather for a while. We'll just double confirm it with Intellicast. Yes, okay, good. So the GFS is pretty much predicting that if we can make it to Sunday, we finally break out of this bad pattern. And we get some nice, comfortable weather to try to salvage summer if we can. I really hope that's possible. So now we're going to take a look at precipitation. We can get the precipitation right here. Excellent. So we got the precipitation back from the GFS. So we're not going to go with the NAM today. We're just going to strictly stay on the GFS, of course. So let's try to go to Wednesday as an example. If the GFS will happily cooperate. There we go. Our wonderful GFS wants to cooperate. So we'll go here to Wednesday. Yeah, so the GFS thinks that Wednesday it might not even rain in New York. So, this is odd. Now they're saying Thursday it might rain. We may actually have to check the NAM to confirm this, but yeah, let's just fast forward to Wednesday. Yeah, chance of a shower on the 18th, but ooh, looks like it might rain in the peninsula on Tuesday. I may have to keep an eye on that. So the only way we're going to get an accurate depiction at this point is if we just check the NAM. If we can get to Thursday on the NAM, we should be fine in regards to. Let's go to Wednesday. Okay, so that one little band is over here, but the NAM can't really predict it at the moment. It would have to be sometime on Wednesday that the NAM can figure this all out, but as you can tell, it's just unbearable. Pretty much we're dry. I don't know if I want any more rain. The only thing I'm just hoping for is that this pattern will break up. So now we'll just quickly take a look at baseball to wrap up this video. Today, standings for the 5th. We have the following coming into play today. My New York Yankees are 8.5 games out of first place. Yep, I didn't expect that to happen, but that's what happens when you lose your all-star outfielder to a hand injury. I'm just hoping later this month Aaron Judge can get back on the field and hopefully he'll start hitting home runs again and maybe the Yankees can try to win 95 games. Is that too much to ask? I said, I'm sorry for erupting about that point. Don't have to worry about the Central. Cleveland's going to pretty much put a... But give him a Y already. Give him a Y. Because normally what happens is in sports, when you have an X, it means to clinch a playoff spot, and a Y means to clinch your division. So pretty much Cleveland should honestly wrap up this division come early to mid-September. Because the Twins stink. Everyone in this division stinks. We don't need to get into that. So, who's the worst team right now? Looks like Baltimore is still the worst team at 297. I like that. We, of course, have the Royals at 309 going into play today. Now, here's a shocking surprise. Oakland, the Athletics. Who saw this coming? Oakland's actually getting hot. They found a groove, and apparently they have the second wild card right now, which we will get into that. Right now, the situation with the National League is, again, it's been a very interesting year in the National League, to say the least. Nobody expected Philadelphia, Atlanta, Milwaukee, all these teams to be doing well. Milwaukee didn't really end the first half on a good note, but they are winning again. They are chasing Chicago for first place. The Cubbies are pretty much going to be around. Pittsburgh's trying to make a push, but I don't see anything happening with that. And the Cardinals fired Mike Matheny a couple weeks ago when I was in Delmarva. I keep hearing rumors, and people still want Joe Girardi to manage the St. Louis Cardinals, but we'll have to keep an eye on that. Pretty much with baseball, it's been a surprising year, to say the least. Arizona's in first place. Listen, if the Dodgers don't win this division, I'll be surprised, because the Dodgers are going to find themselves in a good situation. I hope they do. They should have won the World Series last year, but that's a whole different question. So, the only thing I debate myself with is who's going to win the National League East. That's the big question at the end of the day. Is Atlanta going to win? I don't know. Is Philadelphia going to win? I don't know. Out of all these divisions right now, the hot one, in my opinion, and the weirdest one this year, has to be the East. As I said, look at Philadelphia. Look at Atlanta. Nobody expected them to have winning records. Everybody thought the Mets were going to be the surprise team this year, but look where the Mets are. Look where the Nats are. I thought it would be between these two like it normally should be, but apparently we're going back to my nostalgic childhood days of when Philadelphia and Atlanta would chase the division. How ironic, huh? We'll wrap it up with the wild card. We'll take a look at that. So, the Yankees have a 3.5 game lead on the first wild card. Oakland is up with the Mariners by 2.5 games. And then, of course, you have the National League. You have the Dodgers, who don't even have the wild card right now. It's Milwaukee and Atlanta. I think Milwaukee can try to hold on to that first wild card. But keep in mind, the Dodgers are not going to go away. Rockies, I don't know. Put them as a question mark. Pittsburgh, pretty much eliminate all these teams right here. And you have the Dodgers, Braves, and Milwaukee. I don't really know what to say at this point about the National League wild card, other than the fact that I'm sorry for saying this, I don't really want to see the Diamondbacks make the playoffs. Even if they make it, they're not going to go anywhere. Or at least give us a good series come October. So, come to think of it, we had news about the postseason schedule. So I'll wrap it up with that. I'm pretty sure I saw a schedule. I'm trying to figure it out. Here we go. From the official Major League Baseball website. Okay, so the wild card games will be taking place on October 2nd and the 3rd. The National League would be on the 2nd on ESPN. The 3rd would be on TBS. And of course, you have all your games right here. We're not really getting into that. The World Series would begin on October 23rd, and if it's necessary, the World Series will end on October 31st. So, we have some breaking news about Mike Scioscia. Let me go to this for a sec. All right, let me read this. There was an undeniable tension when Mike Scioscia entered the visiting dugout Sunday morning. About 12 hours earlier, The Athletic reported that Mike Scioscia was going to step down. Pretty much Mike Scioscia said today, nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. Sometimes there's always chatter out there, and the only word I have for it is poppycock. So pretty much he's now denying the fact that, okay, Mike Scioscia said nothing's changed since October regarding his job status. Cold reports of him poppycock. Yes, he still loves managing. Cut off other questions. This is just nuts. So, there was a report yesterday from The Athletic that said that Angels manager Mike Scioscia was going to step down. I congratulated him on his career on Twitter, but if this is... I don't know what's going on. It sounds like one source is saying something and the next source is not saying anything. And Ken Rosenthal is a reliable guy, but we're going to have to keep an eye on this development. So that's pretty much where I'm going to end this video. I didn't expect to end this video on a dark note with regards to Mike Scioscia retiring. So it's pretty much going to wrap it up. Thank you for watching. Until the next video, take care.